Hello Year 5, it's Mrs Bastable, and in today's maths lesson we're going to look some more at line graphs. So today your target is to use line graphs to solve problems. It might be a bit tricky at first, but I'm sure you'll get there because you always work really hard. So let's warm up again with our daily 10 times table practice, only this time we're taking it up a level. So sometimes they may be missing numbers in the calculation. We'll stick to 7 seconds though. Remember to mark your work carefully at the end and record your results. Good luck! Question 1. Something times 3 equals 36. Question 2. 6 times 11. Question 3. 10 times 8. Question 4. 3 times 5. Question 5. Something times 12 equals 48. Question 6. Something times 11 equals 44. Question 7. 3 times 3. Question 8. 5 times 2. Question 9. Something times 6 equals 60. And question 10. Something times 8 equals 24. Let's see how you've done. Question 1. The missing number here should be 12. 12 times 3 is 36. Question 2. 6 times 11 is 66. Question 3. 10 times 8, easy, 80. Question 4. 3 times 5 gives us 15. Question 5. Something times 12 equals 48. Well done. 4 times 12 is 48. Question 6. Something times 11 is 44. Excellent. 4 times 11 is 44. Question 7. 3 times 3 is 9. Question 8. 5 times 2 is 10. Question 9. Something times 6 equals 60. Easy. 10 times 6. And question 10. What times 8 is 24? Well done. 3 times 8 is 24. Make sure you've marked your work in a coloured pen or pencil and recorded your answer out of 10. Well done. Now work out these questions. Remember to take your time and do any working out that you need to. Question 1. What is the sum of 31 and 79? Question 2. What is the difference between 31 and 79? Question 3. Round 73,499 to the nearest 10,000. Question 4. Round 73,967 to the nearest 100. Let's work out our answers. So question 1 asks for the sum. If you think about all our vocabulary work we've done, you'll know that the sum means when you are adding together. So 31 add 79. 1 add 9 makes 10. 3 add 7 is a number bond. It makes 10. Add the one we carried, 11. So the answer is 110. Question 2 asks for the difference between the same numbers. Again, it's checking your understanding of vocabulary. The difference means we are subtracting. So this time you need to start with the larger number. 79 subtract 31. 9 take away 1 is 8. 7 take away 3 is 4. So your answer is 48. Next, you're asked to round to the nearest 10,000. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So if we're rounding to the 10,000, you need to look at the number in the thousands column. And it's a 3. So does 3 round down or round up? Excellent, it rounds down. So that would make your answer 70,000. And question 4 asks to round to the nearest 100. So 10, ones, tens, hundreds. This time you're looking at your tens column. Does 6 round down or round up? Excellent, 6 rounds up, but we can't have a 10 here, can we? So it will go up a column, making your answer 74,000. I hope you remembered how to do that because we haven't rounded numbers for a while. Excellent work if you did. Keep it up. Now take a look at this line graph. We're told the population in thousands, going up in tens. Along the bottom we're told the years, going up in 5-year intervals. Along the side there is a table showing us the year and the population in thousands. True or false? Has the graph been plotted accurately? Or is there a mistake somewhere? Check carefully. It was false. Did you spot the mistake? According to the chart, in 2005, the population was 70,000, but on the graph it was plotted as 100,000. Did you find it? Well done. Take a careful look now at this problem. The line graph shows us a 65-kilometre bike ride. The distance left to cycle is shown on the left-hand side. So at 65 kilometres, there's no distance left to travel. At 5 minutes, there was just under 60 minutes left to travel. At 10 minutes, there's 50 minutes left to travel. Can you see? The left to cycle is the clue to solving this problem. The cycling time along the bottom goes up in 5-minute intervals. So question 1, how far does the cyclist cycle in the first 15 minutes? Question 2, how long does it take the cyclist to cycle the last 10 kilometres? Have a go at working it out before we take a look together. Take care. So this question was really tricky. How far does the cyclist cycle in the first 15 minutes? So it seems easy enough at first. We're going across to the first 15 minutes. We go up until we hit the plotted point, and then we go across. And it's somewhere between 40 and 45. So let's say it's 43. That's about in the middle of the two. However, that isn't your answer, because this on the left is the distance left to cycle, not the distance cycled. So you need to look at the total distance, which is 65. Subtract how far you've just found, which was 43, and that will give you the answer. 22 kilometres. Tricky, but not so hard once you know what you're looking for. So let's take a look at question 2. How long does it take the cyclist to cycle the last 10 kilometres? Now, this is distance left, so the last 10 is down here. So this time we're going across this way until we hit the chart, which is around here. Again, this time it's between 45 and 50. So I think that will be about 47 minutes. So, how long does it take to finish the last 10 kilometres? He was there at 47 minutes, but we know he finished the race at about 53 minutes. So this time we need to do 53 subtract the 47, which gives us 6 minutes. Well done. I hope this makes some sense. Now you can see the answers. Here we have the same line graph with the distance left to cycle on a 65-kilometre bike ride. Now you've looked at questions 1 and 2, have a think about these questions and see if you can work out the answer. Question 3 asks you to estimate the distance cycled after 22 minutes. And question 4, after 40 minutes, how many more kilometres are there to cycle? Good luck! Question 3 asks us to estimate the distance cycled after 22 minutes. So we need to find roughly where 22 minutes would be. And this is why it's an estimate. We can't be exactly sure because it's not a plotted point. If I go up until I hit the line graph and then go across, I end up here, which I think is about 36. However, remember, this is the distance left. So again, I have to subtract that distance from the total distance. 65 take away 36 would leave me with 29. If your 36 is a slightly different number, maybe you put 37 or 38, your final number might be slightly different, but I would accept that as correct. So check carefully because it is an estimate. Question 4, after 40 minutes, so 40 minutes till we hit the plot, how many more kilometres are there? Now this one is easier because the question asks how many more, which is the distance left to cycle. And I hit just under, if you see, just under the line. So I don't think it's quite 20. I'm going to go 19 kilometres. But because of how we're working at the moment, it's hard to do without rulers and looking closely. So if you put 20, that would be fine. It's close enough. Well done. Now let's take a look at a different line graph. This one shows the daily sunshine in August. On the left we have the sunshine in hours, going up in 2-hour intervals. And along the bottom we have the days of the month, from the 1st to the 10th. Have a go at answering these two questions using the line graph shown. Question 1. Which 2 days had an equal amount of sunshine? Question 2. Which day do you think had the most cloud? Can you explain why? Now we're looking at the daily sunshine in August. So, which 2 days had an equal amount of sunshine? We know equal means the same. So, if you look, are there any 2 points on the chart that are at the same distance? Yes, here they are. 2 of them both had 4 hours of sunshine. So it was day 1, the first day, and day 6, the 6th day. Simple. Question 2. Which day do you think had the most cloud? Now, what does cloud do? Well, clouds can help to block the sunshine, can't they? So which point shows the least sunshine? Well done. Day 4. How did you do with this one? Now have a go at answering the following questions based on this line graph showing how many miles an aeroplane has left to travel each hour on its journey from London to New York. Along the left-hand side we have the distance left to travel, going up in 500-mile intervals, and along the bottom we have the hours, going up in 1-hour intervals. A. How many hours is the flight? B. How many miles is the journey from London to New York? C. After 4 hours, how many more miles are left to travel? D. How long does it take to fly the final 1,000 miles? E. How many miles does the plane travel between 2 hours and 4 hours into the flight? And F. Can you estimate how far the plane has travelled after 3 hours and 30 minutes? Good luck! Now take a look at this line graph showing the amount of rainfall in the first 8 days in October. On the left we see the rainfall in millimetres going up in 2 millimetre intervals. Along the bottom are the days, going up 1 day at a time. A. How many millimetres of rain fell on the 7th of October? B. It rained every day in the first 8 days in October. Is this statement correct? Prove your answer. C. The record amount of rainfall for October is 2.5 centimetres. Has a new record been set? Explain your answer. So let's check our answers to these. How many hours altogether were there in the flight? There it is. There were 7 hours. How many miles is the journey from London to New York? And it stops here, So that tells us there are 3,500 miles. C. After 4 hours, how many more miles are there left to travel? 4 hours hits here, which is just underneath 1,500. So I'd say 1,450 maybe. But if you put 1,500, that's fine because it's hard to see on the screen. How long does it take to fly the final 1,000 miles? The final 1,000 miles is from here to here. So I'd say that's about 2 hours. You may have put just over 2 hours, like 2.2 or 2.5. That's fine. And E, how many miles does the plane travel between 2 and 4 hours? 2 and 4 hours. What's the difference between these plotted points? They're slightly off the line. So I'd say about 1,200. You may have it at 1,000. It's definitely less than 1,500 though. So anything in between there, I think you could get the answer for. And an estimate how far the plane has travelled after 3 hours and 30 minutes would be halfway between 3 and 4, which is why it's an estimate. Because it's not a plotted point. It gets us to around here, which is halfway between 1,500 and 1,200. Sorry, 1,500 and 2,000, which makes me think it would be somewhere around 1,750, as that's about halfway between 1,500 and 2,000. How did you do? Did you get the same answers as me this time? Remember, if they're slightly different but close, that's good enough at the moment. Now let's look at our rainfall in October. How many millimetres of rain fell on the 7th of October? So I find the 7th, go up, and it's between 2 and 4. So I would say that was 3 millimetres. It rained every day in the first 8 days of October. Is this statement correct? No, it's not. Can you see why? It did not rain on the 3rd. No rain on the 3rd of October because we can see it's on 0 millimetres. The record amount of rainfall in October is 2.5 centimetres. Now this was the tricky question. 2.5 centimetres is equal to 25 millimetres because there are 10 millimetres in a centimetre. So the total for the first 8 days of October is more than 25 millimetres. So the total for the whole of October will be more than 2.5 centimetres. So it's yes, it did. And how did you do with this one? Any easier? Hopefully you found the line graphs easier and easier to solve problems by the more we look at them. Even though I know it's really difficult when you're looking at a screen to read them accurately. But hopefully you're getting the idea, so when we're back together soon, it will be much easier. Really well done. Well done. Let's look back now to the start of our lesson and our success criteria and target. can you use the self-assessment to see how well you think you have used line graphs to solve problems today? And please don't forget to share your work with us at school. Remember, you can WhatsApp us, email us, or post it in our new school post box. Fantastic problem solving today, Year 5. I know some of these were quite tricky, but I also know you're all working the best that you can, so keep it up. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.